I got 2 who are waiting to join, and I'm waiting to see if one more will. Just like last time, if not, then I will fill up the space of the last player. Okay, first, let's see. Is sound being captured? Okay, first. Yep, sound is being caught. Good. Alright, I'm waiting for the other 2 to say that they're good. One says they're ready. Now wait for the other one. You know, I'm afraid I might be coming down with something yet again. I know, right? Weak-ass immune system of mine. Well, thing is, yesterday, I got a headache. So I tried to take a quick power nap at night. I woke up. I did not feel well. When it was time to sleep, well, first of all, I couldn't really sleep. And second, I did pop a headache pill. Yeah, when I woke up, my headache was gone. But then this morning, you know, and for like the early part of the afternoon, man, I just non-stop sneezing. Kept on non-stop sneezing. I was blowing my nose quite a lot. I'm really afraid I'm coming down with something yet again. Man, the changing of seasons suck. But hey, check out what came in the mail yesterday. Check this out. Check out what I got in the mail yesterday. This is the last of 2 common amiibos that I'm missing. You know, outside of the ones that have not released yet. Like, as of this moment, the Age of Imprisonment ones, as well as the Street Fighter 6 ones. Those ones were announced, but haven't come out yet. And in terms of, like, reasonable ones that I can get, but am still missing, it was this and Orange Inkling Squid of the Splatoon series. Not the Smash one, the actual Inkling Squid orange color. I don't know why it is so hard to find it. And the prices are sky high online. I even went to Japan and I couldn't find it. I couldn't even find a loose one. Ugh. So yeah, in terms of the quote-unquote easy ones I can find, it was just this Luigi and Orange Inkling Squid, which if I want that, I'm gonna have to fork over like $200 on eBay, and that's already the cheapest I could find. Maybe next month. So, some of the ones that I'm missing that are a little bit more pricey and harder to find, I'm still missing Mega Yarn Yoshi, Poochie, I'm missing QB, as well as I'm missing the Dark Skylander Donkey Kong. I have the Dark Bowser, I'm missing the Donkey Kong, and I think that's it. I think that's all the amiibos I'm missing. Anyways, okay, both people said they're good. I also got my other Switch ready, because I only got 2 people. So, my family is a little bit worried right now just because my older dog, Toby, he's been showing signs of aging. So, you know. Ooh, hold on. One person's ready. Or another person wants to come. Pause. Alright, let me back out just in case that other guy is able to show up on time. Yeah, Toby's showing signs of aging. He doesn't eat as much, you know, he refuses to eat. When normally he's quite a glutton. He's refusing to eat, and, once again, he's not pooing very well. My mom is, you know, starting to get scared that it might be time to say goodbye to him. Which, yes, it's heartbreaking, but, you know, once it's time, it's time. If it's, you know, if it is, if it has to be, then it is what it is. Of course, I don't want him to pass, but, you know, that's just life. It's gonna happen eventually. There's nothing I can do to stop it. All I can do is, you know, keep him happy and healthy for the remaining time he has. Now, that's not to say that he's gonna pass anytime soon, at least I'm hoping not. But you never know, right? A lot of things can change. Things can escalate rather quickly in a short period of time. My dog's breed, their lifespan is expected to be about 13 years, you know, Ymir's curse span. And, well, he's not 13 just yet, but he will be. In July, and it's April right now, so we're only a couple months away from him turning 13 years old. The hell? You know, Billy, he at least made it to 13 years, 2 months, and... was it 1 day? So Billy made it just past 13. Toby, you know, he's 13 soon. You know, that's just part of life. Well, it seems like clearly someone's not paying attention, but it doesn't really matter. Now I'm thinking maybe... maybe Drapion being picked second wasn't a bad idea, because if we swap Lickitung, then Drapion can use... doesn't Drapion have a Steel-type move to use against Cryogonal? But Drapion... Lickitung doesn't! Yeah, Iron Tail. You know, last night I had a pretty strange and disgusting dream. So, because Toby's old and he doesn't shit as good anymore, every time we let him out to the backyard to poo, he, needs to be monitored. Someone needs to go out and watch him. So I had a dream last night where we let him out, and Toby, he just is having a hard time going, having a hard time releasing everything out. And then somehow in my dream, all of his poop did not come out of his colon, but instead came out of his penis. And it wasn't even a little bit, too. In my dream, a humongous pile of brown liquid came out, with chunks of his dog kibble solids. Yes, it was a pretty nasty dream. But then, even in my dream, I'm like, how the hell did that happen? Wait a second, that's not right. That's not how kidneys work. Kidneys filter liquid. How did solids come out there, and how are they brown? And thick? It was a nasty dream I had. Oh, fun fact. Earlier, just before starting this, I actually pulled 3 good things in Pokemon TCG Pocket. 2 of them being new. So I opened the Shining... what's it called again? The Shining something. The Shiny deck. I finally pulled the Shiny Charizard EX card. I also pulled the Wugtrio EX. I said 2 of them are new because I also pulled the Full Art Weasel card. I already had that. But hey, I pulled 3 pretty good things today. Normally I don't get shit from this game. Near the beginning I did. But nowadays, I don't really get anything. I don't get any good stuff. Okay, let me just finish typing some stuff out here, and then I need to start talking about Daredevil. I only talked about one episode so far. I'll just attack. Okay, I'm just writing out the strat. I probably should have written out the strat before, you know? I had the footage to look back on and see what to do, but I didn't do that. Oh well. Should I just attack? I think I'm just gonna attack. Well, it doesn't really matter if anyone Dynamax is here. Like, it really doesn't, so who cares? Okay, let's see if me attacking will even take it down. It's a good thing I didn't Metal Sound. Stun Spore! Oh shit, that's not good. I don't know why I'm catching all of these things. I really shouldn't. I should only be catching Zygarde. I think after this I'm gonna start doing that. Only catching Zygarde. Oh, shit! Oh, that was a crit. No wonder it did so much. Should I even bother? I'm just going to attack. Already 2 special defense lowering moves were landed. And then, hold on, let's see. Nope. Well, I have the whole strategy written out. Are we back to soft resetting? Kinda. Once we do the entire raid. Who do I pin again to... Hold on. Hold on, let me look at the rules again. Whoops. Okay, give me just a moment. Let me finish one thing on the side, and then we'll start talking about the show. Oh, you want to know something that happened today? It seems like every time there's some sort of raid event going on in Pokemon Go, the universe does not want me to participate. Earlier today, there was some sort of fighting type raid event going on. Things would show up in the raid every half an hour. It would either be a Scraggy, Hariyama, or a Mega Heracross. I just was not able to go. one raid happened every half an hour from 2 to 5. I swear, every single time a raid is about to come up, someone walks into the store, thus I cannot leave. Every time. Like, there's an entire half hour where nobody comes in, and then right at either the half hour or the top of the hour, somebody walks in. You don't want to know what else happened earlier today that is absolute bullshit? So I went over to the raid in person. It used up one of the several free raid passes of the day, but then my game crashed. My game crashed and I was not able to actually participate in the raid. I had to boot up the actual game again. I tried to go back into the raid. It said, raid is done. I'm like, what do you mean raid is done? So raid is done. I could not battle, and it did not even let me catch what was in the raid. It was a Mega Heracross. So I wasn't even able to catch it. I tried to wait out the timer. It then said, you know, time's up, too bad, try again. I tried to enter the raid again. It said the battle was over, so I couldn't even catch the thing that was taken down from the raid. So I just lost one of the free raid passes. Albeit, it's a free raid pass, so it's not the biggest of deals, but like, you know, I lost the pass. I didn't even get what I wanted, or what I tried to raid for. Okay, so before we talk about Daredevil Born Again, I want to mention something that happened earlier today, relating to the show. So, a friend of mine randomly texted me out of nowhere. Hold on, let me pull up the chat log, let me pull up the evidence. Okay, so he texted me out of nowhere at 4 in the afternoon, and he said, I'm watching Born Again right now. Holy shit, this is peak Marvel. I just replied like, are you serious? Oh right, I should not be catching, because I don't need to swap. Yeah, he said like, Daredevil Born Again is peak Marvel. I'm just like, are you serious? And then I texted him, I'm glad you're enjoying it, but I wouldn't call it peak Marvel. And then I asked him, do you know the behind the scenes drama? I asked him, which episode are you on? He said he's currently on episode 6, which we know what episode 6 is like. It was episode 6, right? No, it was episode 7. Episode 7's the one I'm thinking of that everyone dislikes. So then I told him the original idea, the original plan was for Born Again to be basically a soft reboot. For it to not really be connected to the Netflix show, certain characters were going to be recast. But then Marvel realized what they were making was awful, so they fired the original creative team. They brought in some of the people who worked on the original Netflix shows. If I'm not mistaken, they brought back the showrunners of Punisher, and then they also brought back a handful of the original Daredevil writers. However, at the time, they already filmed a good number of episodes. So episodes 1, 8, and 9 were brand new, were completely filmed new episodes. Episodes 2 to 7 were original. The original writers, the original creative team. So I told him all that. He's like, that's interesting. I had no idea. I did recognize the style was different from the original. I think it means like the show is different from the original. Well, of course. So I texted him, you will notice that episodes 1, 8, and 9 are completely different in tone from episodes 2 to 7. Now, as of right now, episode 9 hasn't aired yet. Today is the 13th of April, and episode 9 airs on the 15th, so still got 2 more days to wait. That's okay, I've only talked about the first episode. So yeah, a friend of mine randomly texted me today like, yo, man, Daredevil Born Again is peak Marvel. I'm like, seriously? Okay, as long as you're liking it. Well, that's a shame, but I guess it's not a big deal. Okay, so before we think about anything else to sidetrack us, let us talk about Daredevil Born Again. Last time I talked about episode 1, and only episode 1. So now let's talk about episodes 2, and let's see how far I get. Once again, like probably for the last time, once again, forgive me if I miss a couple details. Because, you know, I watched these episodes weeks ago, and I'm refreshing my memory on the Wikipedia summary in front of me. So forgive me if I miss a couple of details. Oh, speaking of missing a detail, last time I mentioned that there was something I'm forgetting to mention. What am I forgetting to mention? I remember what it was. However, I don't remember which episode it was. I don't remember if it was episode 1 or 2. It may have been episode 2. There's a scene where, I think it was episode 2, actually. So maybe it was a good thing I forgot to mention this. I was going to mention that, Fisk was elected mayor, and he's giving his mayoral speech to the people of New York. He mentioned, he will not tolerate vigilantes running around in costumes. Someone dressed in a devil outfit, or a man, or a guy walking around with a skull emblem, or a man dressed as a spider. So, we obviously know who they're referencing. You know what I would do? You know what I would give to get that live action Spider-Man movie where it is a team up with Daredevil and they fight Kingpin? That's the movie I want. That is the Spider-Man movie I am waiting to watch. Are we ever gonna get it? By the sounds of it, it's not gonna be Spider-Man Brand New Day. So maybe Spider-Man 5? But, I get it. Daredevil and Kingpin just properly came into the MCU, so fine, I get it. Anyway, so let's talk about episode 2. Alright, so this episode, we actually meet White Tiger, or at least his regular counterpart, Hector Ayala. Now, let me just look up the actor's name again, just to pay respect. I think this might be the first time I'm seeing this actor in anything. Okay, I see here his name was Camar de los Reyes, so rest in peace to him. He did pass away of cancer not long after this show filmed. So rest in peace to him. Let me look up, what else was he in? Maybe I've seen something else he was in. I only see one thing he was in that I actually saw, and I have no idea who he could have possibly played. He did some sort of voice role in Batman vs. Robin, the animated movie. I have no idea who he voiced in that one. But, yeah, that's the only other thing I've seen him in. Yeah, rest in peace. So yes, we meet Hector Ayala in this episode. He is just being a good Samaritan. He was walking down to the subway with a bouquet of flowers. And then he sees two people beating up this other guy. So like a kind Samaritan, he goes and tries to help and de-escalate. However, in the brawl, an accident happens where one of the guy trips, falls... Oh, by the way, this is in a subway. This is in an underground subway. One of the guy trips, falls onto the subway tracks, and then gets run over by the actual subway train. It's then revealed that the guy beating up the other guy was a cop. Okay, let me edit the strategy. I'm just gonna say Dynamax Mr. Mime. Pour myself some water. I almost dropped all my water. Well, honestly, it was kind of pointless to Dynamax Cryogonal, but whatever. Who cares? I mean, all that really does is just waste, like, 30 seconds. Delay the inevitable. Alright, the only thing I will catch. So we find out that the dirty cop's name is Powell. So now Hector Ayala is in need of a lawyer, a defense attorney. So, of course, it's going to be Matt Murdock because he's a really good lawyer. Now we do the soft reset. I tell you, I really don't like hosting, you know? I don't like closing out my game. But hey, it worked for me last time. Let's see if it'll work again. Okay, so Matt, using his super hearing, is able to hear Hector's heartbeat and tell that he's innocent. He did not on purpose kill the cop. It was an accident. I think it was Cherry who... Yeah, Matt asked Cherry to look into Hector Ayala because Matt, believing he's innocent, can tell he's still hiding something. So he asked Cherry to look into him. Look into his, you know, his past, his story. So Cherry goes over to Hector's home, where his wife is. stalls her a bit and, you know, snoops around, finds the white tiger costume as well as the amulet. So it's revealed to both Cherry and Matt that Hector Ayala is White Tiger. So, of course, this is like pretty damning evidence that he's innocent because he's a good vigilante. So, yeah, Matt, you know, but Matt, being also a vigilante, knows the importance of a secret identity. So, you know, he convinces the judge, was it the judge? Let's see the summary. Yeah, he convinces the judge to withhold this information, believing it would unfairly bias the jury. Yeah, that too. I can't exactly remember how the judge knows that Hector Ayala is the White Tiger, but yep, that happened. Oh god, why did someone say whoops, what happened? Did someone pick something wrong? What happened? I see Lickitung, I see Mr. Mime. Nope, I see everything's good. Was this really only episode 2? No, it's episode 3 I'm thinking of, because I was thinking, no way the episode I'm thinking of was episode 2. Yeah, episode 2, Fisk also meets, I think it was episode 2, that Fisk basically meets his mayoral team. He meets this, young man, what was his name again? Crap. What was his name? Hold on. He meets a bunch of new characters, basically. Daniel, that's it. He meets Daniel Blake. He meets... what was her name? Sheila. Yes. So those are basically, Fisk's 2 new, I don't want to say underlings. Not gonna lie, Daniel Blake is a really lovable character, you know? Despite the fact that he's glazing someone like Wilson Fisk. And Sheila, well, she's just kind of like the spokesperson for him. Telling him the good things to do, the things to avoid doing, all the publicity stuff, you know? Basically also informing Fisk, like, you know, stuff you need to do as a mayor, like go to campaigns and go to fundraisers, that kind of stuff. And then he also meets the character BB Uric. Now, the name Uric should sound familiar, because it's then revealed that BB Uric is the niece of Ben Uric. Don't you just love when shows and stuff like this just shoehorn in characters just because the original character never mentioned this person? So, yep, Fisk instantly recognizes the name Uric because it was Fisk himself who killed Ben Uric. I kind of, you know, rewatching the entire Daredevil show, I don't think anyone, like not a soul in this universe, knows for a fact it was indeed Wilson Fisk who killed Ben Uric. There was no witnesses. Fisk didn't tell any of his henchmen that, you know, what he was doing, where he was going. So it was just Fisk and Ben alone. He killed him and then he just left. One would think you can easily just, I don't know, fingerprint? I don't know. So, yeah, there is obviously a funeral service, a respectable one for a fallen officer. Fisk goes to the cop funeral, the dirty cop who tried to beat up, that guy that Hector broke up. Fisk tries to attend, but then he meets this person named Gallo. Turns out Gallo knows about Fisk's past, knows about him as the kingpin of crime, and threatens to leave the task force. And obviously you do not threaten the kingpin. Maybe I should just attack. Oh, I see what happened. Player 2 and 3 swapped, so not Drapion. Dynamaxing... Yeah, I guess it doesn't matter. Yep, this strategy is very much flexible. Oh, you want to know something that... You want to know what Pokemon is unnecessarily rare? Cherubi. Not even Cherim, the evolved form. Cherubi. For some reason, Cherubi is unnecessarily rare. You don't see it really in the wild in the games. Cherim is actually quite common. It's its pre-evolved form Cherubi that for some reason is extremely hard to find. Right now there's a Pokemon Go event going on where Cherubi spawns quite frequently in the wild. I am trying my damnedest to get a shiny. You know, when I was on my trip, I forget if this took place in Japan or Hong Kong, which portion this took place in. I actually did find a wild Cherubi. I caught it. I was telling myself, okay, transfer this to Pokemon Home to get it registered in the Home Go Dex. And then I brainlessly, just transferred it in Pokemon Go. So I deleted it. I'm just like, wait, did I just delete it? Shit! Oh, when am I gonna get another one now? Well, here I am, a month and a half later. Don't paralyze, don't paralyze, don't paralyze, don't paralyze. Good. Anyways, back to the episode. So, by the end of the episode, Wilson Fisk and his wife Vanessa start attending couple therapy. And their therapist is none other than Matt's new girlfriend, Heather Glenn. But because therapies and doctors, they're sworn to secrecy about their clients, so obviously Matt doesn't know. So let's see, the end of the episode, the person that Hector was saving from the two corrupt cops. Why did I catch that, by the way? Watch that Tangela be shiny. So yeah, Matt tracks down the person who was being assaulted by those two cops who Hector tried to save. Turns out his name is Torres. Well, he tracks him down, and the corrupt cops are also tracking him down. So Matt helps him escape. The corrupt police officers, we even see they have Punisher logo tattoos on them. They start beating Matt. They start beating up a blind man. And then Matt just unleashes. He just goes crazy on them. He just beats them all up, breaking the arm of one person. You even hear bones snapping and blood coming out. And by the end of the episode, the final scene, because Matt swore to never be Daredevil again, he was done with that life. Well, he was just forced to be violent again, to actually be combatant. Well, final scene of the episode, he lets out a primal scream. And then the episode just ends cutting off his scream. Oh, this person... One person says they're done after this round, so I need one more person. Well, I can join if nobody else does. Okay, now I need a pin in the server to see if anyone else wants to join. Oop. Okay, Tangle is not shiny. Neither is Zygarde. Who was on waitlist again? Hold on. Oh, I think it was Nova. Nova wanted to join, but we had enough. Okay, give me a second. I just you know, atted the person. So let's see if that person responds. If not, I need to find someone else to join. You know, at least episodes like 3 and 5 don't have a lot to talk about, so at least the discussion for those episodes would be quick. Yeah, I figured that person wouldn't join. Figured Nova wouldn't join. Okay, I just pinned in the server. Let's see if anyone wants to join. Just a second, folks. Waiting for someone else to take up the 4th spot. If no one does, I will. I'm going to take this opportunity to go out and check if any lights need to be turned off. Well, looks like no one else is joining. Alright, setting up my other switch. Oh, there's my controller. Alright, let me play as 2. While I shiny hunt Terrakion on the side, as well as discuss the Daredevil episodes. Just an overload of senses right now. Okay, so that was episode 2. Episode 3! How did this episode begin? Ain't no way someone wants to join right after. Oh, nope, that's the same person. Never mind. Oh, whoops. Waiting on me on my other game. That's right, I'm controlling 2. Alright, so Wilson and Vanessa are actively trying to avoid, Kingpin's prior life of crime. So they're avoiding all of the, gang leaders that Vanessa was meeting with during Fisk's absence. I see here on the wiki that the gang leaders' name are Luca and Victor. I knew about Luca, and I don't really remember Victor. I think he did show up at some point. It also says here, Fisk believes they should let the gangs kill each other to build a lasting peace, but Vanessa is frustrated that her work is being undone. Because while Fisk was gone, busy being shot by Echo, and being, let's face it, humiliated by her. God, that show sucked. Vanessa took over the crime family business, and she was actually low-key doing better than Wilson was. It kind of blows my mind to see just how much Fisk has corrupted Vanessa. And I don't think this is the kind I necessarily want to root for. It's not exactly the same as, Vic being corrupted by Oswald Cobb. That I was actually cheering for like a lunatic. But this, it's like, Vanessa was so innocent before Wilson Fisk. Hold on, one person wants to join. After this run, of course. You know what? No point attacking. Anyways. Alright. So, yeah. Vanessa's the one who actually sends, it says here, Fisk's right-hand man, Buck Cashman. What a comic book name. Buck Cashman. To order Luca to pay 1.8 million restitution to Victor. Thus, trying to end the feud between the two gangs. That actually reminded me on a little side plot here. So earlier tonight, my friends and I were just chatting. And then my friend brought up a Finnish man. I'm like, the hell is a Finnish man? F-I-N-N-I-S-H. The hell is a Finnish man? And he's just like, a man from Finland. I'm just like, wouldn't you just call him a Finland man? Not everything needs to be like, I don't even know what the term is, You're from Canada, you're Canadian. You're from China, you're Chinese. You're from the US, you're American. Or you're from America, you're from American. That kind of thing. Australia, Australian. That kind of thing. Europe, European. What? European. So, is that really the case? Or does it just sound strange to me, and just me? If you're from Finland, you're Finnish? You're from Finland, you're a Finnish man. Wouldn't you just say you're a Finland man? I'm from Finland. Yeah, I'm Finnish. Then again, like, if you're trying to describe yourself, I guess you would say that, I'm from Canada, I'm Canadian. I'm from China, I'm Chinese. I'm from Finland, I'm Finnish. You don't say Finese, that sounds like finesse. So is it really Finnish? Anyways, back to the actual show. Alright, so the actual stuff that is important to this episode, it's actually the trial of the White Tiger, or rather the trial of Hector Ayala. Throughout most of the episode, it's actually just the trial of Hector Ayala, trying to prove his innocence in a court of law. And, the cops, while, what's the word? It's not protesting. It's, shit, what's the word? Testifying, there it is. So, obviously, the dirty cop, what's his name again? Powell. The dirty cop Powell is lying as he testifies, despite being under oath. Obviously, Matt is able to tell because of his super hearing and, hearing of the heartbeat, but nobody else does. And there's kind of no way to prove that he's lying, aside from just, word of mouth from someone else contradicting the story. man. So, yeah. Torres spouts absolute bullshit when he's up there testifying. Hector gives his side of the story that, he just saw two guys beating up some other guy. He intervened because it was the right thing to do. He didn't know they were cops. They didn't show any badge. They didn't show any signs of being officers of the law. All Hector saw, nope. All Hector saw was just two guys beating up a third guy, so he intervened. And it was an accident that the other cop tripped and died. Well, the jury kind of is leaning more towards the cop. So Matt pulls a mind-blowing move. He actually just outs Hector's identity. He's just like, Mr. Ayala, yes or no, are you the vigilante known as the White Tiger? And then just reaches into his bag, pulls out the White Tiger mask. That is absolutely insane. Matt, of all people, should know how bad that is to do. Like, if someone did that to Matt himself, like, I'm sure Matt would not want that. But yet Matt just nonchalantly does it to White Tiger. The reason Matt, he said it is because, maybe it will actually sway the vote of the jury, despite that's exactly what he did not want before. Really? You're starting off with the Land's Wrath? Obviously, the jury is leaning more towards the fact that Hector is innocent because of him being White Tiger. And, he's also asked, when you were White Tiger, why did you do this? Why did you save this person? Why did you intervene? His answer was the same for all of them, because it was the right thing to do. Well, clearly, Mr. Mime didn't D-Max. Woo! We actually got pretty lucky there. And never mind. The luck ran out. The luck super ran out. The luck extremely ran out. Alright, I super need to Dynamax Cryogonal. Now hopefully the goddamn move actually lands, and paralysis doesn't take effect. So anyways, the Powell's lawyer is trying to, justify or trying to make the argument, like, does doing good things does being a good person make you immune to doing bad things? No. You could be a good person at heart, but you can do something bad. Some bullshit excuse, bullshit argument. So obviously, well, first of all, Matt, the person that he found at the end of the last episode, Torres, actually came in to testify. However, he actually broke his oath broke his vow to be under oath to tell the truth, only the truth, and nothing but the truth. And he actually sided with the corrupt cops storyline. Because, you know, they all have Punisher tattoos. They're all corrupt and dirty. But even that's not enough to actually sway the vote of the jury, because they actually vote that Hector Ayala is innocent. Shit. Well, that's enough of me playing 2 players. Yay, it was an overload of senses. I can only do too much. What? I can only do so much at once. Alright, just waiting for the go-ahead that everyone is ready. Ugh. Alright, everyone's ready. Okay, so Hector is found innocent, but his identity is now outed. Everyone knows that Hector Ayala is White Tiger, so that not only puts a target on him, but on his whole family too. So now, White Tiger needs to be very careful about continuing his vigilante shenanigans. Hold on, let's see. Yep, stuff here on the summary says Matt is criticized by the jury for being a hypocrite. At first, not wanting the jury to know about his identity and then just outing it himself. It also says here that in an interview with BB, Fisk denounces the trial's result and vows to uphold the anti-vigilante stance. That's right. I think it was here. I think it was this moment where Fisk mentions, you know, a devil suit wearing person, a guy running around with a skull in his chest, a man dressed as a spider. It might have been here that happened. I can't remember. So anyways, the end of the episode, Hector suits up in his White Tiger attire. He hears, you know, cries for help, screams, so he approaches to aid, and then he just gets shot in the head. He gets killed off right away. And the killer walks into the camera. We don't see the face. The killer walks into the camera wearing the Punisher logo on his chest. But obviously, it's not Frank Castle. Obviously, the Punisher himself would not do something like that. To a good person, of course. So, I'm not gonna lie, when this happened, my jaw really did drop. I really did audibly gasp. Because I'm thinking, like, we just met this iteration of White Tiger. We just met Hector. Just for him to immediately be killed off. It's like, damn, that's a bit of a shame. I would have loved to see, you know, something, anything from this version of White Tiger. But, you know, obviously they're they're setting up the second mantle holder of White Tiger. Anyways, the second holder of the White Tiger mantle being Hector's niece, Angela, who arguably is the more recognizable version of White Tiger. But given Disney's super wokeness, gee, I wonder why they killed off the male character so soon. So they could speed run to give us the female version of the character. You know, even if it is quote-unquote comic accurate and it happened in the comics. That kind of stuff, you know? Nobody wants female Silver Surfer, but, you know, we're getting it anyways. By the way, news came out that Johnny Storm as well as Sue Storm, they're gonna be quote-unquote modernized for this film. Yeah, you know what? Just simply hearing that, I don't want to watch the film anymore. At least not in theaters. Just hearing that there are sprinkles of woke in it, I don't want to watch it anymore. I don't want to pay to watch it. I'll wait for it to come out online. You know, I didn't even go see Captain America Brave New World in theater. I'm waiting for that to come out on digital, which I think comes out in a couple days. So, next couple of days, I'll watch Captain America 4, that is, you know, Captain America Brave New World. I'll watch that in a couple days. So yeah, episode 3, White Tiger just instantly got killed off. Are you kidding me? Well, there goes the Max Steel Spike. So, I just typed into the group. Guess the other version of the strategy would prevent this. If it were Glalie right now, using the D-Max Steel Spike. Not the biggest deal, I suppose. Well, not a whole lot changed anyways. You know what I thought about? I think, if not earlier today and then yesterday, I had this idea. Is it possible that you could consider this like an addiction, and I'm just looking for a way to get my fix, to just feel that rush? So, more and more these days, I'm just trying to, like, look online to see what there is to buy. Because, you know, you buy things, you feel happy about it. You feel happy that you just purchased something that you want, and that, you know, you're anticipating it. But these days, there's just not a lot that I want to buy. And for some reason, I just keep looking online for things that I'm, like, what can I buy? But there's just nothing. It's like, am I addicted to the feeling of buying stuff? Feeling good that I just bought something? And I'm just, you know, trying to browse online to get my fix of that good feeling when I buy something completely unnecessary in life? Like, for God's sake, what I just mentioned too, look at what came in the mail yesterday. My Luigi amiibo. I mean, if I really wanted to, if I really needed my fix, I could just buy a U2's, you know? Thing is, like, it's just too much. If I buy one, I'll buy so many. I literally have, like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 U2's right beside me. You think I'm kidding? I'm not. Look, here's the ordinary sausage one. The Mr. Sausage one. How much power am I at? 55, yeah. You know, the battery life for this thing is actually pretty good. Especially the fact, add in the fact that I also have the sound on relatively loud as well. Well, the 3DS on the side hunting Terrakion is fully charged, so I'm gonna go ahead and unplug that, and then I'm gonna plug in my main Switch. I don't want to plug in my Switch Lite, just in case, you know, it messes up this thing being centered. Why is nobody Dynamaxing Mr. Mime? Oh. Because Cryogonal has it, never mind. Anyways, give me a second, let me charge my other Switch. I just took a peek outside and I see a lot of lights on. After this, I gotta go and turn them off. I saw what my electricity bill was like this month. Or I'm just gonna go right now. Damn, everyone has Discord Nitro. Of course I'm not gonna pay for that. You know what I still need to do one of these nights? And it's actually going to take me quite a while to do it. So I do have fucking 4 Kirby mystery box sets that I have still yet to open. So my plan is to, you know, clear out some space in my big-ass amiibo display case. Reorganize a bit of space to display my enormous collection of Kirby figurines. My god, I can never show a woman my bedroom. My den of nerddom. My man cave. I can never show a woman my room. As sad as it is, the only woman who would probably ever see my actual room would be my mom and my sister. Oh yeah, I'm gonna be single for my brother-in-law's brother's wedding. Whenever that happens, I am absolutely not gonna be spoken for when that happens. You know, it's gonna be like exactly the same line Wade Whipple said. I was really hoping I could show a woman this room one day. A woman who's not my mom. It's like, I feel you on that, Wade. You know what the sad part is, too? I only have 4 Kirby mystery box sets. There are several more out there, and I want them. I want them all. I want everything Kirby. However, you know, money. Anyways, let's discuss episode 4. What was this episode again? Because I remember episode 5. What was episode 4? Ah, yes, I remember the second half of episode 4. How did the first half of the episode go? Okay, so, Matt is at the, I believe at the morgue or at the police station gathering Hector's belongings. So his white tiger uniform as well as his amulet. His niece Angela shows up. You know, she believes that the police are responsible for Hector's death, for killing her uncle, which they are. And she pleads, she begs, Mr. Murdoch, please! You gotta do something to avenge, no pun intended, to, you know, avenge my uncle. He was unjustly killed by, you know, police. What can someone actually do against corrupt cops, right? Like, if anyone can do something, it's you, Mr. Murdoch. But, you know, at this point, Matt has still vowed to not be Daredevil again. Despite, you know, he's trusting the system that is... Wait. Yeah, he's trusting the system that is the court of law. So he still does not want to be Daredevil just yet. So he tries to tell Angela, like, don't worry, your uncle's killer will be found. By who? The cops? The cops killed him. It's like, well, you got me there. Okay, so it's here. So here, in this episode, Wilson and Vanessa are at counseling with Dr. Glenn, and they discuss Vanessa's affair during Fisk's absence. So her affair with a bloke named Adam. So she asked, like, what drew you to Adam? Oh my god, thank God Vanessa did not say his penis. Because, good lord, imagine what Fisk would have done. Vanessa says she was drawn to his hands. You know, they just told a story whenever they created art. There's a lot of emphasis on art in this show. So, the moment Vanessa mentions she was attracted to Adam's hands, Fisk, you can instantly see his face, and it's just like, can we not discuss this right now? I mean, can you blame him? Who wants to hear their partner discuss what they were attracted to from another person, right? Once again, thank God Vanessa did not say his penis. So, Heather Glenn even asks, like, Fisk, did you confront this man? Yes, I did. Where is he now? I don't know where she is, or where he is. We also see throughout the episodes that Fisk has bloody knuckles, so it kind of hints towards what he's been up to with a particular person. You know, she even pulls Vanessa aside. Whoops. I just dropped my controller. So yeah, Dr. Glenn even pulls Vanessa aside and asks, do you feel safe in your marriage? That's a very yes-no answer, you know? On one hand, like, do you feel safe married to the goddamn kingpin? On the other hand, who would dare threaten you if you are married to the goddamn kingpin? And we know Wilson, he would absolutely never betray Vanessa, even if she betrays him. Like, he just would not do that. He would probably throw a rage fit and scream, but, you know, Fisk would not ever attack Vanessa. He just simply wouldn't. I'm trying to think, was this the episode or was it later on? No, it was this episode. So also opening this episode, Fisk was at, what was the place called? Red something. Whatever. So Fisk is at a different part of New York, the docks area, and he wants to rebuild it from scratch, from the ground up. However, unlike being Kingpin, where if he orders something, it just happens, being mayor, he has to go through a bunch of hoops and hurdles in order to get it, like, approved before, you know, operation can commence. And he doesn't like that. So something political I don't understand. We also see in this episode that that Daniel was drinking and partying with BB Urich and another friend of theirs. And then he drunkenly, as well as high on ketamine, just spills some information, leaks some information that he probably should not have. And then, because BB now knows, she just leaks it to the public. She just calls Fisk a fraud for, you know, his plans on what he wants to do. So, Fisk is obviously pissed. Yeah, Blake, Daniel Blake, he completely screwed up. He leaked information he should not have. Realistically, he would have gotten fired from his job, and if we're being realistic in the world of Marvel, yeah, Kingpin would have just killed him on the spot. But that's not Wilson Fisk anymore. And also because he's taken a liking to Daniel Blake. He's sort of like a diet, smaller, younger version of Daniel Blake. What? Daniel Blake is a younger version of Wilson Fisk. You know, he can see Fisk. What? He can see himself in Daniel. Part of me is wondering why didn't Glalie just Ice Fang, but whatever. Doesn't matter anyways. It's also this episode we get the brand new Kingpin meme where as mayor they almost did like a George W. Bush moment where Fisk, he's in I think it's like a kindergarten or maybe like a first grade classroom, and the kids are singing some song very badly to him. And as an adult, you don't want to break the spirits of kids, so he has to put on a happy face, act like they did amazingly. We get the brand new hilarious meme of Kingpin just standing up and applauding. It's like, children have such talent. Let's sing Mayor Fisk another song. No. No, that's okay. Again, children have such talent. So it's at this point that Fisk learns about the leaked information. He also has to go to this other like fundraiser thing, which they really didn't do a whole lot of. They just cut away from that, so kind of felt like that scene was not necessary. They had all those extras in the room. They completely designed the set only for nothing to come from that scene. Only for it to cut away to a very angry Wilson Fisk screaming at all his staff. You know, Mayor Garbage. Is that it? Is that your best? You are all here to help me fulfill my promises. My promises to the people. Simple promises. I will find out which one of you leaked this. I will find out. Oh, you just love it when Wilson Fisk is angry and screaming. You embarrassed me in front of Vanessa. Oh, you just love it. He is a force of nature. So, Daniel very bravely and, you know, very manly. Like, as a man, whenever you make a mistake, you just own up to it, just admit it, correct your mistake and move on, right? Be a man and just admit it. And that's exactly what Daniel did. He steps up, it's like, it was me, sir. I messed up. I leaked the information and I screwed up. I understand if I'm fired. Though Fisk, you know, he goes easy on Daniel, taking a liking to him, because, you know, Daniel's just like, I believe in you, sir. I believe in what you're doing and what you're trying to do for the city. And you know what? I like him, despite the fact that he's basically Wilson Fisk Jr. Like, from what we see, he's pretty good. He's a pretty good guy. Damn it! Well, it's actually past midnight. I don't know how much longer I'm gonna do this for. I mean, I could still keep going, honestly. Oh, shit. Whoops. Whoops. You also saw the 3DS on the side there. Here, let me recenter this real quick. How did that happen? Don't worry about it. Yes, I know I need to cut my nails, okay? Before anyone mentions that. Does this side look a little lower? There, how's that? Good enough. Anyway, so yeah, that's the Wilson Fisk side of the episode. The Matt side. So it turns out that the bullet casing that killed Hector Ayala was never found. So Matt goes to investigate himself. He goes to the same spot that Hector was shot. He grabs a bottle, rolls it on the ground, or just puts it on the ground to see where it'll roll to, uses his hearing to follow it, and then finds out that the bullet casing just went down into a sewer drain. But, you know, not deep enough to where Matt can't pick it up. And then he feels the fact that the Punisher insignia is branded on the bullet casing. So Matt just goes and tracks down the Punisher, albeit rather flawlessly. He just instantly knew where Frank was. Maybe off screen, you know, he and Frank met up again and he's just like, "Hey Red, this is where my secret hideout is." I highly doubt that. So I don't know how Matt instantly knew where Frank was. Yes, Matt can hear voices and sounds from throughout the city. So maybe like that. Yes, Matt has like super smell as well. I don't know, it's kind of just almost lazy but yet convenient writing to where he instantly knew where Frank was and was able to find him no problem whatsoever. Then again, you still could make the argument that, you know, he's better. He's good at what he does. He's a really good lawyer. So he's able to hear and smell where Frank is and was instantly able to go to where he was. So we see John Bernthal return as Frank Castle. You know, originally, John Bernthal did not want to come back as Punisher. He actually declined the offer to come back because he said what they were doing with the character, the fans would have absolutely hated it. So he chose not to come back because the script for the Punisher originally was terrible. Then, you know, they fired the previous team. They brought back new writers. They fixed the character, the writing for the character of Punisher, and John Bernthal came back. Thank you. Thank you. Praise the Lord. Thank you. And I gotta say, the chemistry between these two is outstanding. The scene between Matt and Frank, mwah. This is absolutely pure cinema. So we see Matt and Frank banter back and forth. You know, Matt's just like, the dirty cups, guess whose logo I found on the bullet casing? Frank's just like, what's that got to do with me? You know, a couple of fanboys taking up my logo. Matt's just like, you could use all of this in service to help others. He's just like, did you forget that Frank was in the army? He already did that. And Frank brings it up. He's like, I already did. And look where that got me. So Frank, he's just like, you know what I think, Red? I don't think you came here for my help. I think you came here for my permission. You want to hurt someone, don't you? A little afraid what that means. Matt tries his best to deny it. But, you know, Frank can smell it off of him. It's written all over his face. So then they start talking about Foggy. Matt starts breaking down. Frank explains, like, it's all about him. It's all about the friend you lost. Frank just goes why he does what he does, because whenever he stops, he can still hear his little boy. And his voice, the voice of his son, tells him to get him, Daddy. Get every last one of them. Absolute cinema. It's a shame we don't get as much Punisher in the season, you know? Because I would have loved to see more. However, we'll just have to wait for that Punisher special presentation coming to Disney Plus sometime in the future. Think of it kind of like a mini-movie. A short film. That's basically what I consider things like Werewolf by Night and Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special, just short films. Because basically that's what they are. So yeah, cannot wait to see that Punisher special coming at some point. And remember, the character will be done justice. At least it better be. Because Jon Bernthal chose not to come back unless it was written good. So rest assured, fans, Punisher will be done justice. I swear to God, he better be. We're still on episode 4. So, yeah, Matt leaves. He goes back. So, the way the episode ends, Matt goes up to the roof of his new apartment building where I don't know how he has ownership over that small little space on the roof. Unless the, the landlord, the tenant of the building just didn't know it was there or just doesn't care who uses it. I don't know, it feels kind of strange that Matt has a new apartment and then there's just this random space on the roof where I guess he owns and is able to lock up his own stuff. I don't know. But anyways, Matt goes up to the roof, unlocks his little, like, special cage. Not necessarily a cage. His little, like, hiding spot, where he keeps all of his Daredevil suits. We see 5 different helmets. We don't actually see the, the suits themselves, but we see the helmets, which is iconic. He pulls out his billy clubs, and then he just starts practicing with them. Meanwhile, we see Wilson Fisk coming down into some sort of basement. He walks past Rabbit in a snowstorm, still covered with his own blood, as a result of what happened at the end of Daredevil Season 3. Oh boy, person said they disconnected. Okay, so player 4 disconnected. So let's see if player 4 NPC will swap for Tangela or not. So yeah, Fisk goes down to his basement, walks past Rabbit in a snowstorm, eats his enormous dinner, you know. Fisk is definitely gaining weight throughout the show by eating more and more. And then we see Adam locked up in a cage, in a cell, right beside him, and he's just eating his dinner as Adam's screaming for him to be let out. And Fisk just, you know, digs into a very delicious looking dinner, might I say. Pasta, sausages, it looks like, you know, freshly shaved cheese on top. It looks delectable. So, you know, Fisk just sits there, dining, as he sees this quote-unquote art piece, his captive. So, yeah, Wilson basically has this torture dungeon where he's keeping Adam locked up. Now, I don't know if... I don't think he had him locked up there for a year. I don't think so. Because remember, at the beginning of the show, there was a 1-year time jump. So I don't think so, right? I might need to rewatch the episode. I don't remember if Fisk saying to Vanessa, I know about Adam, happened before or after the time jump. I think it happened after. So, no, he did not have... Well, it had to be after, because the whole beginning scene did not even have Fisk in it. So yeah, he did not have Adam for a freaking year locked up. Unless he did, and that just happened off screen. It was just not mentioned. Woo! Was that a crit? No, it wasn't. Wait, so player 4 who disconnected said you're going into the final fight with no Glalie or Bronzong. How did that happen? Oh, must have disconnected a while ago. So I guess we gotta wait for player 4 who disconnected to finish. No! I still gotta see, like, do I want to do one more or two more? How many more do I want to do? Because it is getting late. Tell you what, let me talk about episode 5, and then I'll call it. So next time we'll talk about 6, 7, and 8. So episode 5... Oh yeah, we also see in episode 4 that the villain Muse also captured another victim and drains him of his blood. Throughout the show, throughout the episodes thus far, we've gotten like small hints at the character Muse. We've seen his paintings show up on the walls, his graffiti. We also see in one scene this random person ask Dr. Glenn for help. Gee, as if you couldn't tell us. It's basically like, tell me the identity of Muse without telling me the identity of Muse. So yeah, it's like, no shit, that was Muse. Anyways, yeah, that stuff was happening. So episode 5. This episode opens up on St. Patrick's Day. This episode takes place on St. Patrick's Day. And before even watching this episode, I saw that people online were saying it was boring. So I'm just like, oh shit, what am I about to get myself into? I watched the episode. I liked it. It wasn't that bad, you know? It was more of a filler episode, did not really serve much purpose to the overall plot of the season, but you know, it was a pretty decent episode. I didn't hate it. Okay, so in this episode, Matt goes to a particular bank to ask for a loan for his law firm because, you know, what the hell was the name of the law firm again? Something and McDuffie. I forget the freaking name of the law firm. Anyways, so he's asking for he's asking for a loan because his law firm constantly, you know, takes the jobs of people who can't really afford legal aid. Like, they just don't have enough money to afford it, but, you know, they take the job anyways because it's the right thing to do. The innocent, everyday person needs a defense attorney. So, you know, Matt takes on the job despite not really being paid all that much. So, because he just takes on literally any and every case willy-nilly and doesn't make a lot of money, well, the law firm doesn't make a lot of money. So Matt needs to go to this bank to ask for a loan for the law firm. Well, his application is denied by none other than guest appearance Yusuf Khan, the father of Kamala Khan, Miss Marvel. He even makes several references to Miss Marvel, saying like she's in the West Coast right now, visiting friends. Yusuf even has a custom Funko Pop of his own freaking daughter. And then he's just like, Mr. Murdoch, would you like to try this piece of candy? It's really good. He's also like, Mr. Murdoch, would you, like, it's St. Patrick's Day. You need to wear some green for the spirit of the holiday. Matt's just like, green? What's green? I can't tell if Matt actually knows color or not. Obviously, he wasn't blind at birth. He was blind when he was 9. So he had 9 years to actually remember colors. Then again, being blind for so long, like, I don't know if Matt remembers what colors are, what the differences are. And I don't know if Matt can actually tell apart colors. I did see this question pop up online. How does Matt know which helmet to pick? Which Daredevil mask to pick for the suit? Like, what if he picked a red suit and picked the yellow helmet, right? That'd look pretty goofy. Well, the answer is different textures. The helmets all have different textures. So does the suit, so that way he knows which one he's picking. You know, fun detail I also forgot to mention last time. Rewatching Daredevil Season 3 answered my question, like, why did he stop going to... what the hell was his name again? Melvin Potter. Why did he stop going to Melvin Potter for the Daredevil suits, but instead went to Luke in Los Angeles, was it? No, San Francisco, that's it. Yeah, why did he stop going to Melvin Potter for the Daredevil suits, but instead started going to Luke in San Francisco for his suit? Well, rewatching Daredevil Season 3, Melvin Potter got arrested. Yeah, I completely forgot about that. So Melvin Potter is no longer able to make the suits for Matt. Ah, that's right. I forgot about that. Anyways, so, yeah. Matt's application is declined, so then he leaves. Right as he leaves, like right after he leaves, 5 masked burglars, five masked robbers come in and try to rob the bank. Matt, hearing the commotion, he first tells Kirsten to call the police because he was on the phone with her, and then he walks back in. He walks back in pretending to be a clueless blind man Well, a blind man clueless to what he just walked into. Well, that's not good. It's especially bad since I'm frozen. I need to metal sound. So, stuff happens. The manager to the bank's not here, so they're like, who else can actually open the bank vault? You're the assistant manager, right? What's your name? Yusuf Khan? Mr. Khan, can you open the bank vault? Yes? Good. So, the leader of the bank heist, he's negotiating with the cops outside. It's like, you know, I want this, I want this. Well, we want the hostages released. So they keep on going back and forth, cutting deals. Well, you know, they devise some plans. Matt is just like, I need to go to the bathroom. So one of the guys leads him to the bathroom. Matt ambushes him, beats him up. So then he's able to actually go to where the bank vault is, meet up with Yusuf. Matt is able to hear and open the vault themselves. You know, bank vaults don't exactly have like piles of cash like games and movies make it out to be. It's mostly like safety deposit boxes, and if I'm not mistaken, bank vault codes get changed regularly. And if that's not the case, then that's just a smart precaution to take. So anyways, yeah, they go into the bank vault. They whole thing about two different keys to open a bank vault, one that the manager has and one that the client has. Well, they're able to luckily guess which one it was, and it was to open a big ass orange diamond. So they're here to rob for a diamond. Well, the cops are also done waiting. They're about to bust in, despite the fact there are hostages. Matt goes up to meet with the burglars. They're just like, here, you want this diamond? Here, take it. Tosses it right as the countdown finishes, and then the cops break in. There's absolutely chaos ensuing. Matt is able to hear that the person in charge of the heist, he changes into a cop uniform and sneaks out. Also, there was one lady in the quote-unquote, in the hostages who was actually also a part of it. So she was handed off the diamond to sneak it out. You know, as someone who was pretending to be the hostage, which is actually not a bad idea, honestly. But Matt knows this as well. Matt's able to snatch and swap out the diamond. Because as she's leaving, she checks the pouch for the diamond to make sure, and it's a piece of candy. Well, Matt also takes one of the robbers' masks, conveniently taking the red one, follows the guy who changed into the cop uniform and just beats him up. Jeez, breaking his leg as well. And it was wonderful to see. Smashes his face into a glass bottle and it shatters all over his face. Breaks his legs. Fantastic. I love it. By the way, the show has a lot of F-bombs, which, you know, the original show was severely missing. So we then get a closing discussion between Matt and Yusuf, where Yusuf actually invites Matt to go to dinner at his place. Oh yeah, Yusuf also reveals that he... what's the word I'm looking for? Damn, what's the word I'm looking for? The word where you have to... Oh, commute. That's it. That Yusuf has to commute all the way from Jersey City to over here, wherever this was, for his job at the bank. I assume that's a fair distance away, Jersey City. I'd love to understand why you feel this content needs to be monetized. I don't make anything from this. My entire time doing this stuff, I've never made $1 from it. Sure, there might be ads on it, but like, I don't see $1 from it. And besides, like, why not monetize it, right? I'm sure a lot of other people have it monetized. So, yeah, Yusuf invites Matt to dinner at his house. Matt agrees. I think Yusuf also offered, like, let me see what I can do about that loan you wanted. Well, Matt is just like, maybe I should try one of these candies. Pops it in his mouth. Well, after Matt leaves, Yusuf looks into his candy bowl like, hey, what's that? Pulls out the diamond. Looks like, wait, what's his deal? And then the episode ends. The camera keeps refocusing on a shitty Switch console. Well, I'll give you that. I don't know how to fix the camera refocusing. And on a shitty Switch console, yeah, I'll give you that as well. I just figured I wanted to do something different, because, like, once again, I bet you've never seen anyone do it like this before. You know, I already hunted Zygarde on a capture card, so I figured, let me try something different. If you don't like the content, why are you watching? You don't have to watch. Anyways, that's episode 5. People said it was filler. Yeah, kinda. People said it was boring. Sure, it may not have served much purpose to the plot overall, but, you know, it was a fun episode. I enjoyed it, despite, like, you know, filler. Yeah, I don't know how to fix the camera constantly focusing. Yeah, I don't know how to do that. It's like right in between too close and too far. Well, I don't think moving it closer will fix the focusing, you know? If anything, that might make it even harder for it to focus. And if I move it back, well, the focusing issue would stop, but then everything would be just too small to actually see. Zoom in on it in OBS. I'm not doing this on OBS. I do this way, it shows nothing. Nothing shows up on OBS. Guys, shh, look! Look what I just got on the side! I'm not gonna fail it this time. Like I did before. I'm not gonna accidentally, you know... I'm not gonna fail the shiny Terrakion this time. Look at how red that is, too. Not you. Look at how red that is. It's one of the actually good, vibrant shinies that are red. Okay, I'm gonna first paralyze it with Blissey, because this thing can easily one-shot my Scyther that has False Swipe. It also just knocked out my Blissey. Well, that's fine. I already paralyzed it. You know what I can throw out? I can throw out my Decidueye. None of the fighting moves will land. And the rock-type moves just don't do that much. Alright, Terrakion used Swords Dance. Paralyzed. Whoops. Oh, by the way, this is my last Roto catch. I need 2 more. I still got Virizion and then Landorus to get. Okay, one sec. Well, that's fine. Do I gotta make a move yet? Nope. Sword Stance. Hold on. That increases attack. Isn't Rock Slide physical? So I should probably heal up my Decidueye before it has a chance to land another one. I have 2 Hyper Potions and I have 6 Max Potions. Haha, loser, you use Sacred Sword. I am victorious! Any nature guesses? I got a serious nature. Alright, I only have 2 more shinies to get on this game. Virizion and Landorus. Why did my friend just send me the Shin Megami Tensei 5 Vengeance Cap Chara? Is that thing I got in Japan, and I got the one I wanted the least. You know, there was a Jack Frost, Black Frost. How do I pronounce this one? Decarabia. And the one I got was Amabi. It even says the Decarabia. Well, first of all, comes with a pedestal, and it says here, backside is painted with metallic. Damn, and I got the worst one. I got the ugliest one. What's my battery on, by the way? 30%. Alright, so today I talked about Daredevil Born Again episodes 2 to 5. So next time we'll talk about 6 to either 8 or 9. We'll see. Alright, so because it's past midnight, I technically got this on the 14th. And I got Shiny Cobalion on the 11th. Also just past midnight. So it's been about 36 hours since I got Cobalion. Wait, is that right? Wait, that's not right. 24 times 3, that's 72, dumbass. It's been about 72 hours since I got Cobalion. 36. Debating, should I do one more after this or call it here? It is getting late. I don't think I even saved the game after catching Shiny Cobalion. Terrakion. Alright, these guys are saying they have one more in them. Pause. Damn. Alright, one more. I already regret agreeing to it. Man, I still can't believe we found a really good path first try. You know how uncommon that is to find a usable path first try? Let me see. Are other lights off in the house? Actually, no, not yet. Ugh. Well, I am now on the hunt for Virizion, going into the space vagina. Once I'm done texting. Alright, now that I'm done texting this guy, let me go back to the Virizion search. Would you believe, out of the 3 Swords of Justice, I personally think that Cobalion Shiny is the worst out of the 3. I actually quite like Terrakions and Virizion Shinies. Both of them actually are really good looking shinies to me, but not Cobalions. Would you believe that in Pokemon Go, I've only ever gotten shiny Cobalion and not the other 2? Like, I don't have a shiny Terrakion at all. I have a shiny Virizion, but it was traded to me. And then Cobalion, well, I got that on my own from the Unova tour. And I didn't get it from a raid, I got it from the research. So it's not even in a Premier Ball, it's in a regular Pokeball, making it even more rare. Damn, out of the 3, I did not get the 2 I wanted, I got the one I wanted the worst. You know, I have no idea how many Zygarde checks we're at. I'm not keeping count this time. I don't know if we're at 27 yet, or if we've passed it. Then again, it wouldn't take too long for me to actually find out. So, if I'm not mistaken, this should be Verizon, because I don't have any more shiny, any more legendaries to get from the green. Yep. Alright, let's see. First encounter shiny, perhaps? No. I'm not that lucky. I've only been lucky enough to get second encounter shiny. Where'd my rubber band go? Oh, there it is. Well, you know what? It's getting late. I think I'm going to turn down the sound. You know what's interesting? iPhone gives you a notification of low battery at 20%. Switches actually give it at 15%. So it's like confusing at times, you know? I see my Switch Lite is about to hit 20. I'm thinking I'm about to get notified of it telling me low power, but no, on Switch it's 15%. Alright, a not very effective Dragon Pulse. I feel like we're gonna knock it out anyways. Beautiful. Alright, this is it. This is the last check for tonight. Aww. Well, no luck this time. Alright, that's gonna do it for tonight. Well, thanks for watching, everyone. See you all next time.